Hey, it's Aaron. Today I want to talk about what is going on at Harley-Davidson. Yeah, Harley's having some tough times. They have been for a while, but there's been a lot of shakeup in the last week or so. Harley has been struggling for quite a while, and then in 2024 showed a 60% decline in revenue, meaning they're just not selling much. It's really hard to be nice about what's happening over there. So basically, Harley found out this news, the media found it out and got really big over it, had a lot of like, whoa, and then Harley started throwing out some of their leadership. They're trying to blame all kinds of stuff. They're blaming Trump tariffs, which actually affected a couple of models, but mostly the retaliation for those tariffs of what have affected them the most on exports. But that's too recent to account for what happened in 24. So that can't be it. That's today, not last year. But the earlier tariffs, so Trump's first term, they also took a toll on Harley, but not nearly at this level that we're seeing now. So, yeah, basically what's happened is H Partners, which is the second largest investor group in Harley, is now trying to basically get rid of Harley's major leadership. These are people that have been at Harley-Davidson for 15 to 20 years and maybe even more. The director, Zeitz, has been there for 18 years. Linebarger has been there for 17, and then there's a board member who's been there for 29 years. They're trying to get rid of those three people. Her name is Levinson. And yeah, this was after the HD said that they were going to raise prices because of the tariffs, and they were going to have to raise prices in Europe, and the price raises they're going to be doing are going to make European buys of Harley-Davidson sometimes in the six figures, which is not going to help their sales. Zeitz has been at Harley for a long time, but has only really been the CEO for about 5 years. Before that, was basically one of the senior managers and a bunch of other stuff. So outgoing people at Harley have said all kinds of things about what's happening there, blaming COVID, blaming the cultural depletion of the company and all kinds of stuff. I think what's really gone on at Harley is that they are making products that people no longer want. The most of the motorcycle companies realized about 25 years ago that their primary market was going away. So these are what we think of as Harley riders. These are hairy dudes, more than middle-aged, wearing the whole cosplay gear and cruising around. Those people are dying out. They're going away. Some of them can't ride anymore. They're boomers. They're just too old to be doing this. Some of them just can't do it anymore. Some of them don't buy new. So you end up with a very limited market. The market shrinks every year, and Harley has failed to adapt to that. Harley they haven't brought any of their smaller displacement bikes here. They haven't lightweighted or shrunk or changed their motorcycles in any way to try to capture new markets. Their electric bikes have gone nowhere. Nobody's interested in them. They're just not doing well. Everything is a negative right now at Harley. The only thing Harley has going for it that it can't seem to quite capitalize on enough to stay afloat is that Harley is more a cosplay provider than they are motorcycle makers. What I mean is the Harley-Davidson logo and all the stuff that goes with it around it is exceedingly marketable. So you got leather jackets, denim jackets, leggings, boots, hats, helmets, stuff, right? Wallet chains, whatever. You got all kinds of stuff that can have the HD logo on it, and people will buy by the truckload. And yet they can't make that profitable enough. Motorcycles really shouldn't be Harley's focus. Harley really should be making a handful, like 2 or 3 models of motorcycle at a very high premium price and at a very premium build. So they should be making luxury bikes, basically, in terms of price tag and quality and craft. So they should be limiting their numbers, not trying to ever expand those numbers. And at the same time, they should be pushing the logo hard. It should be on everything. Saddlebags, luggage that goes in the saddlebags, luggage that it turns into a saddlebag, whatever, all kinds of that kind of stuff. Because they will sell those things like hotcakes at the county fair. They will just fly off the shelves. But instead, Harley keeps trying to fiddle around with motorcycles. The problem they have is that the motorcycles they're building, honestly, they're 30 years out of date. Because every other company that makes motorcycles is not having these revenue issues. They're all up. You got Indian making wonderful motorcycles, from classics that everybody wants to ride because they got the pipe noise and the look, to modern race bikes, like really cool looking stuff, cafes and all that kind of thing. You got Ducati, BMW, you got all these bike makers that are doing really well. Harley is the exception. So they really should be thinking about something else. Harley's tried to expand and move into Thailand and other places where they really just should be importing at a high rate or at a high cost, selling at a high cost, and being a luxury make. That's my opinion. I really think Harley is just on the wrong track. They shouldn't be a mass producer. They should be more like a Bentley or a Aston Martin. They should be small quantity, limited numbers, really good execution. That's really what they should be doing. And they're doing the opposite. They're getting worse as they come out. Their reputation is going into the toilet. And yeah, they really should be selling accessories more than they are vehicles. It should be like, well, I mean, a lot of companies like Aston Martin. That's a really good example. Aston Martin doesn't make that many cars every year. They only make a handful by comparison to other car makers. They only make them in 1 or 2 places, and they're both in England, right? They don't fool around with international yada yada. The next thing is Aston Martin is constantly teaming up with Gucci and Prada and all kinds of big brands, big, high-end, high-dollar brands to do things like customized luggage to match your car and stuff like that. Harley should be doing that too. That really needs to be where they're at. Because I can tell you right now, the people who buy Harley, the people who are Harley's core audience, they can afford a $100,000 motorcycle. They'll complain about it. They will bitch about it. But they will still buy it. Because those aging out boomers have money. And those people that are following them, that are the next generation down, my generation, I have neighbors that are my age at 40 and 50 years old that are riding Harleys. Those people, they will pay that money for Harley. They're paying $90,000 for a pickup truck they don't use. They will pay for that Harley as well. The rest of them, they'll just buy used ones because that's what they've always done. I can name like 5 people I know in the last 10 years that have bought a brand new Harley. I can name probably 50 of them or more that have bought used ones. So Harley really needs to reconsider everything, and I think they're just on the wrong track. You can tell me if I'm wrong, hit the comments, whatever, tell me all the stuff that I don't know, but let me tell you, I don't think Harley is going to survive if they keep trying to diversify instead of just consolidating. They really should just shrink it down, get those 3 big models, 2 big models, 1 smaller displacement model, and call it good. It's really what they should be doing. Don't even worry about EVs. They can dump all of that, because I'll tell you what the future for Harley is. Loud pipes, nice looks, classic stuff. That's it. And tons of paraphernalia to go with it. That's really what they need to be doing. So, all right. Like I said, if you think that I'm a total complete idiot, whatever, hit the comments down there and tell me that. I don't care. But let's have a conversation. What do you think? I really think Harley is on the wrong track. You tell me what you think about him. This has been Aaron. Talk to you again soon.